Well, for me, it means that every day when I put 2 feet on the floor when I get out of bed, it means I have a smile on my face. Um, it means I have two little kids running up to me saying, "Good morning, Mommy," giving me hugs and kisses. Um, it means that each day I'm going to bring an attitude of gratitude. I know that sounds cliche, but that's what it means to me. Um, it just means I'm going to try harder every day and be motivated to be more, better, things like that. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of discussion nowadays about managers versus leaders, and everybody is saying they want more leaders. So if you had to say to our audience, a leader is, what do you think a leader is in your mind?
Well, I think first and foremost, a leader is someone who is willing to go it alone. They're going to blaze a trail and take risks where other people might be afraid to do that. They might stand up for someone that other people aren't. But they also set an example for others, either through their integrity, through the decisions they make. Generally, just leading in a way that inspires you to almost want to be like them. Um, and it's definitely, I'm repeating myself now, but it's definitely in the way that they show, their morality. I'm
Is there somebody that you look at that you go, that's I look at them and say they're a leader because they have these qualities or they lead a certain way. Is there certain people from history, your own life, from observation of circumstances that you faced in your own life that you look at and go, they are a leader?
Well, I could give you two examples. They're both personal examples. Um, they're both women, and I look to them as leaders because they're selfless, they're outspoken, um, and they are willing to say what's necessary to get things done. And from history, I mean, people like Gandhi and Mother Teresa definitely are people that we look up to and are inspired by. But these two women in my own daily life, I could mention them. One of them is my grandmother, who recently passed away, and definitely a leader in the sense that she had 16 children, and she had to be the matriarch, and it was during a very difficult time throughout our history, and she was always so selfless and giving and managed that household of all of those children. And the other one I'm sure you know is my friend and mentor Tina Desi, who has been through a lot but has worked very hard uh, in the past many years to establish herself. And again, she's one of those women too, like my grandmother, who is like spitfire and says what's on her mind, gets things done, and I admire that. So okay.
So the last question I want to ask you is, this year we're talking about unlocking value. And so I guess there's a lot of us that want to kind of understand what you think is value. How do you interpret that question? Unlocking value or value of a person. What does value mean to you under those kind of descriptions?
Mm-hmm. Well, that one's an easy one. I think a lot of us take the word value and we look at a person's net worth, or we look at the possessions, the cars, the homes, whatever they have. But in this sense, we're looking at value. I look at value as in what can I give back? What can I give back to my community that will enrich it? And in in doing so, I will enrich myself. So maybe there's an ulterior motive there, because I know that that I will receive as well in how it makes me feel, in how it betters the community. But in terms of value, there's a lot of people who might think, well, I don't really have that much to give, or I don't have any value. I know there's a lot of people that might feel that way. I'm sure all of us have felt that way at some point. But even still, it's amazing how you can find that and dig deep in yourself and find that to be able to give back to someone else and add value to their lives by making them see what they have to offer, whether it's in giving of their time, resources, skills, whatnot.
I'm going to ask you one more question, and it comes down to is because I know that you've gone to the Day of Hope and Leadership, and now you're part of our Hope team. What do you think? What do you think people should take time out of their day to go to another event? Is there something different about this particular day? Is there something that you look at this day that it was able to give you something that you believe that others will benefit from?
Well, absolutely. I think that I went last year as a guest, and I had no idea that, 3/4 of the way through the event, I would be sitting surrounded by friends, and I would be brought to tears by Ian Hill speaking about the importance of fathers and the importance of giving back to your community, and again, digging deep within yourself. And both my colleagues beside me wrote me little notes telling me that, supporting me. And I just thought, wow, I have been being very selfish in my life. And for a moment, I sat there and said, you need to do more. You know now why you're here. Like, it was almost like an epiphany happened, probably spiritual as well. And I just sat there and I said, you know what you have to do now. This is not about you anymore. This is about the greater community at large, and doing and giving more back. And also about legacy. It's about leaving something behind for my children, for the community, so that it's not to remember me. It's to say, I went beyond myself for a change and saw the bigger picture and gave back. And from that day, I've been able to do all those things and find all that time that everybody says they don't have. And you find it, and you can do great things with that.